2 weeks before opening date, then I'll start advertising.
Good morning, Rim Country. You heard the whistle. You hear the movie music. It's time for the Hometown Movie Guys. Hope everyone is having a wonderful Friday. In the studio with us today is Andy McKinney.
Hello.
Hello, and Craig from the movie theater.
Hello, hey.
Hey, yes.
Everyone, I guess there's a little bit of concern about the whistle too. It's been,
Yeah.
it's just broke right now.
It's just broke. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's where I know there's, assumptions. You know what they say about assumptions.
Yeah,
But people are so
assume,
quick to make them these days. But I guess they don't mind
Not me.
being,
Just a technical issue.
Yeah, that's what I know. I forget where I saw that. I did see that somewhere, read that somewhere. That and that's why one of the reasons also it initially went away. Remember the compressor? The compressors go out, and they're a little bit of money. And getting it up there.
Getting up there, yeah.
Oh my gosh, getting it up on the roof.
60, 70 foot lift there.
Yeah, so it's not an easy task.
No.
It's not like you can just carry something up there. But yeah, has to be craned up there or lifted up there. So, yeah, well, I know it'll be nice when that does come back. I know I enjoy hearing that, during the day. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's kind of a pacing tradition.
Maybe, you know what we can do until it comes back? How about we play a whistle at noon? And it was 5, right? Noon and 5?
We're doing, 5 and 5,
At noon.
Noon and 5, yeah.
Noon and 5. That's what I think I'll do. I'll put that whistle on KRIM.
Oh, that'd be fun.
People, if they still want to hear the whistle, they can, if they're tuned in, they can hear the whistle at noon and 5 right here on KRIM. That's what we'll do. That is our tribute to the Sawmill Theatre whistle.
I like it.
Yeah, hey, look at that. A wonderful idea spawned right here.
That's right. We're just minding our own business and got a good idea.
Miracles do happen.
You know who could go scramble up there and take care of that is Catwoman. She could scramble up any old thing.
Yeah.
Well, speaking, of Catwoman, Batman in theaters and probably rocking it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's doing quite well.
Yep, doing good.
Right.
I'm happy to report that of the 6 movies that we have currently at the Sawmill, 3 of them are profitable. We haven't been able to say that in, years, have we? A couple of years, since the beginning of the plague.
And I know I have not seen Batman yet. I have. Oh no, I will though. Do not worry, Andy. I will. But I did.
It's grim. It's about crime and stuff.
Well, and 3 hours of.
There's that too.
So I want to make sure it's a good time. I don't want to get in there and after a long week and be like, oh my gosh, this is.
I ordered the gigantic size of popcorn.
Yeah, the large. You didn't get any nachos or pretzel bites?
Nope, just popcorn.
Just popcorn.
Yep.
Hey, there we go. Those are available along with dibs. I know we did go see Death on the Nile.
Oh, how'd you like that?
It was great. It was really, really good. We wanted to see Marry Me because we thought, a little date, but we were going to an evening showing, so Death on the Nile was playing, and it was a wonderful movie.
Yeah.
It was really good. The actors in that did a great job, and as Tina pointed out, who is not here today, but Tina, she mentioned the cinematography. And
there's some beautiful shots in there.
Oh, it was really, really an enjoyable film.
Yeah, you had the intricacy of the plot, and the who did it. I mean, it is a classic who done it, right?
Yes.
And you mentioned the cast. My goodness, Annette Bening, Kenneth Branagh, of course, who directed. And he plays the
what does he play?
He plays the detective from Belgium.
Oh yes,
And,
who Tina always says his name.
Yes.
We will just butcher it.
Yeah, we'll just
Yeah.
leave it alone.
No,
But,
so we'll leave it alone.
You know, Gal Gadot,
Mm-hmm.
prominent role in there, and in a much smaller role is one of my favorite actresses, and I'm glad to see that she got some work. Rose Leslie,
Mm-hmm.
and people that watched Game of Thrones will know her because she's the one who said, "You know nothing, Jon Snow."
Mm. And Russell Brand.
And Russell Brand.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Brand in a straight dramatic role.
Mm-hmm.
Were you surprised at how well he did? Because Russell Brand is known for his
Mm-hmm.
comedies.
Comedy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of an interesting character, though. It's kind of some of the esoteric stuff too. That he's,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, a little quirky.
he's
Yeah.
kind of branched out there quite a bit.
Yeah, and it's not, a lot of Hollywood actors are pretty shallow. I mean,
Yeah.
but he has, in his personal life and everything, he has some depth to it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he certainly does. Yeah.
I shouldn't have been surprised that he did well as a dramatic actor.
As a doctor.
Yeah.
A doctor.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's a little more serious.
Yeah.
So.
Well, good. I'm glad you liked it.
Yes.
I did too. I liked it a lot. I thought they did a really good job with it.
Mm-hmm. So, Death on Nile, the times of that's still in the theater, isn't it, Craig?
Yes, yeah, 1:15, 4:15, and 7:15.
There we go. And
And unfortunately, not one of the movies that we have in the profitability category.
gotcha.
They're moving in that direction, but it'll be.
Might take a little longer.
Yeah, it'll take a little longer.
Gotcha.
They're over halfway there, but
Mhm.
they're not there yet.
And Batman again. Probably the biggest. Yeah. How did that do? How did that do opening weekend?
103,
103 million.
310 million, something like that.
310.
No,
Oh,
103 million or 110 million,
Wow.
somewhere in there. So yeah, just over 100 million in the first 3 days.
Yeah, for the week, 300 million.
Wow. And again, a 3-hour movie. So the times on that are a little different, aren't they?
Yeah, we've got a 12:30 and a 1:30 and then a 5:30 and a 6:30.
Gotcha.
So you actually have that one in 2 theaters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that again, I want to be prepared, get ready, and go see that. Just really good reviews, though, hasn't it? Received good reviews.
Yeah, and I gave it a good review too. It should be in today's paper.
It is a 3-hour movie.
Mhm.
I guess that's the only thing I've heard negative about it.
Mhm.
So it's long.
It's a little bit longer. Yeah.
Joy Kravitz plays. I mentioned Catwoman.
Yeah.
Zoe Kravitz is. She's just cute as anything.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you saw the latest Mad Max movie, but she was in that.
Mhm.
She played Toast the Knowing.
Mm. Yeah, that's right. That name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Toast the Knowing. I don't know.
That's kind of an odd name.
Yeah, well, it was an odd movie, that
Yeah.
one. That was really well done, but I mean, it was an extreme. I should say everything was extreme in that movie.
You
And
like
it was-
you like the pole dancers in that, didn't you?
Oh, and the poles.
They're pole dancers, but yeah.
Yeah, well, pole attackers.
Yeah, swinging back and forth and
Man.
In real life.
in real life, yeah, they did all that stuff. That was an
Mhm.
incredible film.
Yeah, that really was. So Batman here has done well, also hasn't
Sure.
Yeah. And again, what a spectacular cast. Paul Dano. Nobody plays creepy the way Paul Dano does. Boy, oh boy. John Turturro, famous for Don't Mess with the Johann. But he's been in like 100 movies. Colin Farrell plays the Penguin, and I couldn't recognize him.
Really?
The makeup and prosthetics and stuff that they put on him are so complete that you can't see Colin Farrell in there at all,
Wow.
or detect even his voice.
Huh.
I mean, a complete submersion in the role.
In the role. Wow. How did he compare to Danny DeVito? And Danny DeVito is
Danny DeVito is pretty hard to beat in that role. You know.
Yeah. But similar, because he did a great job at where.
No, it's much more of a real person.
Okay.
A thug.
Gotcha.
Kind of a minion of the head bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Danny DeVito was a freaky. He didn't even have hands.
He had his little flipper things and that. And how similar, like the comic book? He was pretty. Was that more similar to the comic book?
I think more Danny DeVito-y.
Yeah.
Yeah, they branched off of these comic books so much now. There's different Batmans, and this is kind of thing that they do with. Well, they've done with the Marvel stuff too, where these different timelines and everything, and
And the Batman first appeared in DC Comics in 1940, I think, something right around in there anyway.
Wow.
And in this movie, and I think it's different from the other movies, maybe Craig can correct me on this if I'm wrong, but in this movie, Batman has to detect, and his original comic book was DC Comics, which stands for Detective Comics. DC Comics started doing cops and robbers stuff in the comic books world. And in the course of this 3-hour movie, Batman has to kind of puzzle things out. He gets odd clues from the Riddler, and he has to puzzle those things out. But he has to puzzle out other stuff too, and like a real detective would. And I thought that was interesting, and a kind of a departure from what Batman had done in the movies before.
Well, you see, Ben Affleck doing his Batman version where he's part of the Justice League. Where you've got Superman and Aquaman, and they're fighting space aliens and things like that. A little more. This one kind of comes down to more of a where Batman started, where he's just kind of fighting these villains.
Yeah, and Batman is not a superhero in the sense that he has laser vision or any of that stuff. He's just a very fit and very determined crime fighter.
Yeah, with a little bit of tech, with some cool things.
With all kind of cool toys.
Toys, yeah.
But Jeffrey Wright is in there too. Jeffrey Wright's had a long and productive career, including in some of the James Bond movies where he's played Felix Lassiter, the CIA liaison to MI6 with 007. Anyway, a really good movie, super long. And
you need to get some nachos for that.
That's a nacho movie.
Yeah.
And grim. Everything is dark. A lot of the scenes are at night. A lot of the scenes are at night in the rain, and you're dealing with just kind of nasty criminal people, and it's a terrible situation in Gotham City where it's just corruption and criminality all the way up to the highest levels. Kind of like Newark,
New Jersey. There. Another movie at the theater, Uncharted. And how's Uncharted been doing? Been doing great. Here, let me here's a quote. I'll read this quote and see if you can figure out who wrote this.
Okay.
Uncharted, a fast-paced script keeps things moving in a rapid rate. The action consistently moves faster than our skeptical minds can call out oddities or impossibilities, which is very good for the viewer. End quote. Wow, that's Mr. Andy McKinney, movie review.
I don't get to guess.
That on the Sawmill Crossing and Theater's Facebook page. The review right there. You got 3 gold pieces.
You get 3 gold pieces, right? Because they're dealing with sunken treasure.
Instead of saw blades.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, kind of a segue on that one too. Tomorrow we are doing a food drive down
Oh,
at the theater.
hey,
So
there we
for
go.
2 non-perishable food items, you can come in and watch Uncharted at 10 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, there
Then,
we go.
Uncharted or Despicable Me.
Okay.
We're doing both of those, but yeah, just 2 non-perishable food items, and we'll
And you get in there to see the
get
movie.
in there. We'll distribute that back out into the food shelters and
Hey, that
warming
is-
centers, stuff like that.
Great to know at 10 o'clock in the morning.
10 a.m.
So,
tomorrow.
there
what
you
are-
go.
What are we going to see?
Uncharted or Despicable Me.
Despicable Me. I love Despicable Me.
So,
Everybody loves Despicable Me.
yeah, no, that is a classic
Yeah,
movie there.
Minions, yeah.
So it is great. So if you have young children,
Yes.
then Despicable Me is perfect.
Sure.
And if you haven't seen Uncharted, or if you did see it and you loved it and you want to see it again for 2 non-perishable food items,
Yep.
gets you in to see it.
And one of the things that I like the best about Uncharted
Mm-hmm.
is they did a couple of things in the movie that had never been put on screen before.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was a chase scene
Mm-hmm.
where you've got a helicopter lifting a Spanish galleon
Mm-hmm.
and flying away with it, being chased by another helicopter, and these are big helicopters,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
lifting a Spanish galleon
Mhm.
and chasing them. So you've never seen a chase scene involving helicopters and Spanish galleons so successfully pulled off, or even ever thought about.
Even
before.
done. Period. Whether successful or not.
This was based on a video game.
Oh,
Oh, it
okay.
was?
So, yeah. So that's where some of that is coming from. These some of these crazy scenes in there.
Wow. Okay. So Uncharted, and that shows at what times?
Uncharted is a 147.
147.
Yes.
And tomorrow at 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Yep, you can get in with just 2 non-perishable food items. So hopefully a lot of people go to that showing.
Canned peas, 2 cans of canned peas, and you get in.
Peas or corn, green beans, yeah, SpaghettiOs,
Spaghetti-O.
Bag of pasta.
bag of pasta. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that gets you in there. What? Let me see.
Yeah,
Also-
kind of a silly movie, but fun to
Entertaining.
entertaining, exactly. And we go to the movies because we want to be entertained.
There
we
it
want
is.
to be taken away from our everyday workaday world for
Mhm.
a couple of hours or for 3 hours
Mhm,
with
with Batman.
and this one sure does it.
Uh-huh.
You think of the how successful the Fast and Furious movies have
Uh-huh.
been. And they don't make any sense at all. I mean, they really don't.
Yeah.
In one of them, they parachuted sports cars out of cargo planes, landed in the Moroccan desert, and then used the sports cars to chase bad guys. And that if that isn't ludicrous, I don't know what ludicrous means.
No, that's.
But it was fun.
It's a little far-fetched, huh?
Yeah.
No, that is very true. Also, another movie.
And profitable, by the way.
Profitable.
Yay, profitable.
Hey, that is one of the 3.
Yep.
That is profitable. Great. Another movie that is, I heard, and you have said is very entertaining, but pulls on the old heartstrings a little bit, is Dog.
It does pull on the old heartstrings.
So Dog, though, is that a profitable movie right now?
Let me just give you the precise numbers, if I may, if
I
that's
love
not too onerous on you. They spent a measly $15 million, and I say that only because that's a Hollywood measly.
It is.
That's not
Yeah.
measly. It's not $15 million is not measly to me.
No, nor I.
But they have returned at the box office, and
Yes.
this is the intergalactic box office, counts every place that they show
On
it.
other planets as well.
Well, you
Okay.
never know. I don't know where they're watching, where they're getting this stuff.
They're doing it illegally, though.
40, yeah, bootlegs.
Bootlegs.
$48 million, so it's tripled
Wow.
And my rule of thumb, Craig isn't allowed to talk about this, contractual reasons.
Okay.
But my rule of thumb is half the money for the theater, half the money for the producers.
Mm-hmm.
So by that rubric, they are $15 million, $18 million to the good. So good for them.
Nice, nice. And how did you saw this movie?
Yes, it tugged on my heartstrings. The Stinkers, they billed it as a comedy. So I'm expecting something like Marley and Me, you know, some funny dog stuff, and then the dog dies at the end and you cry, you know. You know, a typical dog movie. No, it's not like that. But it is a well-done movie. Channing Tatum did quite well. He directed it, actually.
Okay.
So good for Channing Tatum. His first directorial debut, and it's a solidly profitable movie, which is important in Hollywood or any place. You want to do something, you don't want to lose money, because then what if you want to make another movie? Well, you don't have any money because you lost all your money in the last one. It was a big flop.
No, not good.
Yeah, Channing Tatum kind of breaking out here early in the year. He's got The Lost City coming up in 2 weeks also.
Yeah, can't wait for that.
Channing Tatum, Sandra Bullock, Brad Pitt.
Yeah,
that's gonna be.
I saw the trailer on that, and Channing Tatum plays kind of a knivvish, and Brad Pitt sweeps in and is a superhero and kind of saves the day, and Channing Tatum looks at Brad Pitt and says, "My word, how come you're so handsome?" And Brad Pitt just smiles at him and says, "My dad was a weatherman." As if, well, that explains it.
Okay, that makes no sense. But that's fun.
Well, you know, then after I saw that trailer, I started paying attention to the weatherman on television, and sure enough, every one of them is a very handsome guy.
And dog, what are the show times? It looks like 1, 3, 10, and 7. No, sorry.
1:30, 4:30, and 7:30.
1:30, 4:30, and 7:30.
Please make sure you always go to our website. There's sometimes Google lists our show times. And they don't necessarily list them
correctly.
No, and I've threatened to sue them before, and there's nothing you can do with them.
Yeah, and that's where.
.net.
So .net. There we go. Sawmill Theaters .net. And there we go.
Yeah, and I expect great things from the Channing Tatum, Sandra Bullock movie. Sandra Bullock is America's sweetheart, and to see her in a movie is just.
She hasn't done anything for a little bit.
Yeah, it's fun. It's just great to see her, and she's done some really great stuff too. She did Speed with earlier in her career with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. Was that with Sylvester Stallone?
What?
Yeah, Sylvester Stallone, Sandra Bullock. I think it was actually her first movie, first or second, where Sylvester Stallone gets woken up. He gets frozen. They have like a cryo penitentiary. They take the prisoners and they
Judge
freeze.
Dredd?
No, not Judge Dredd.
I sort of remember that.
What was it? With Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes was a bad guy, and
is she in that?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, it's set in the future. And
sure. Yeah, I remember the movie. The movie was dreadful. I'd forgotten that she was in it.
I love that movie.
Did you really? You probably like Judge Dredd too.
I did.
So what other movies? We have a few other movies.
Sandra Bullock is really cool though. I like
her.
Yeah. Next week we got Cyrano.
Oh, Cyrano. Okay.
It's Peter Dinklage, kind of a.
Yeah.
Well,
saw a trailer for that. It looks good. It looks real good.
Yeah. So we get that, and we're hoping to get actually The King's Daughter back in next week too. It's a PG family movie. There's kind of
mermaids.
Mermaids, yeah.
Mermaids, yeah, that's right.
There's a little bit of a lack of, the studios are not doing us any favors with these kids movies right now. So we're kind of looking for product there.
And that's something to point out, because I know I did see post out there on Facebook, you know, hey, where are the kids' movies? And
Yeah.
you have almost no control really over what is released.
Yeah, if they're not releasing this stuff, I
And-
can't
yeah.
play it.
Yeah, or if it's released, you know, directly to stream, I mean, that's out of the movie theater's
Yes.
control.
Yeah,
So-
we're still kind of dealing with that fallout from the COVID stuff, though, with the studios
Mm-hmm.
kind of messing with us a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And that's where, so tomorrow at 10 a.m., bringing back Despicable Me
got that.
for the food drive, where 2 non-perishable food items, you can see, you know, a
Get
kid.
something going there, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then, so we'll get King's Drive. We actually played it a while back,
Uh-huh.
a month or so ago, but we're going to kind of push that one again here next week as something for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, that's
we're into spring break right now, and
yeah,
I wish we had more there.
yeah. There we go. And
Spring break going on now?
yes,
Yeah.
started yesterday was the last day of school for a couple weeks, and spring break. There it
Yeah.
is.
Huh.
And then is there still what is it? Moonfall? Is that still
Moonfall's gone. Yeah,
gone?
Moonfall's gone.
And is there anything else?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else do we got?
Well, we've kind of mentioned Death on the Nile, but that's still playing.
Death on the Nile. Yes, yes.
Not profitable yet, but it's still playing in there.
Mhm.
I'm in a little while. I'm going to go see Marry Me.
Oh, that's right. And that's just the daytime shows.
1 o'clock and 4 o'clock on that
1 and 4 on Marry Me. That's right.
Mhm.
So you're gonna go see that?
Yep.
Andy?
Yep.
All right.
Jennifer Lopez and Owen Wilson. I like Owen Wilson. Owen Wilson to me is kind of like John Wayne. You know, John Wayne always played John Wayne, and I think Owen Wilson always plays Owen Wilson. You know, we're talking about Colin Farrell was in the Batman movie, and you couldn't even recognize him. Well, we recognize Owen Wilson.
Wilson,
He always looks the same. He always talks the same. He always has the same mannerisms. He's always the same guy.
Same broken nose.
Same
Yeah.
broken nose.
No, but you know, great reviews. People really like this movie.
Jennifer Lopez, yeah. Jennifer
Yeah.
Lopez, Owen Wilson, sure.
Yeah, Jennifer, get this. See if you can wrap your head around this as kind of a casting thing. Jennifer Lopez plays a character in this movie who is a worldwide, uber successful. Everybody in the world knows her name, loves to see her sing and dance, and that's the character that Jennifer Lopez plays. Yeah, not much of a stretch there.
Yeah, that's crazy. Huh. So, how does she do in this role?
I haven't seen it yet, but apparently she was able to pull that off.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
She plays a beautiful celebrity.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Well, there we go.
Oh, good for her. Anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing this one. It's romantic comedies. You have the only thing that really matters in a romantic comedy is the chemistry between the two characters, the female lead and the male lead. And if you think of the really brilliant ones like Sleepless in Seattle and You've Got Mail, both with Tom Hanks and what's her name?
Meg Ryan.
Meg Ryan.
You know, they're wonderful movies, but they're wonderful not because they make any sense particularly, but you know, they're wonderful because of those two actors. Yeah.
How about The Bodyguard? Did you like that one?
Whitney Houston.
Whitney
yeah.
Houston.
And
Yeah.
Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, again, that didn't make very much sense to have the celebrity fall for the bodyguard.
Yeah.
And I was looking up Jennifer Lopez this morning. By the way, in Marry Me, Jennifer Lopez is getting married on stage to another singer, of this very handsome celebrity, and they thought it'd be fun to do that during a concert. And the plot of the movie has her intended caught cheating just on the cusp of when there's, you know, an hour before they're going on stage to get married, something like that. And so she plucks Owen Wilson out of the crowd.
Yeah,
and marries him on stage.
Had the Marry Me sign.
Yeah.
Just hold this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure it's happened thousands of times.
Yeah. Well, then I started looking up Jennifer Lopez's love life, and maybe this isn't such a crazy thing anyway. She's been linked to Chris Judd, who's a dancer, P. Diddy Combs, the rapper and billionaire, first billionaire rapper, Ben Affleck twice and currently, Mark Anthony, another singer and another handsome dude, Alex Rodriguez, the famous baseball player.
Yeah.
And some other people too, which you have time in between all of them. So maybe, this isn't such a crazy plot device after all.
Yeah, no, that you just never know. Just never know. And I'm just.
But I know people. I know more than one who met their spouse in an establishment that's open mostly at night, where they drink booze. One of those kind of places. So I think that happens sometimes.
The
meet your wife in a disco, or whatever they have these days.
What was it? This little meme. I was trying to find another one, but what was this? Jennifer Lopez. She needs just one ring to tie Michael Jordan and 2 rings to tie Tom Brady. But, yeah.
Oh, that's mean.
And with that, let's time. It's 10:32.
But by golly, it's a successful movie, though.
Yeah. There we go. Hey, so Marry Me, Uncharted, Dog, Batman,
Blacklight, the last week.
Blacklight last week for that.
Liam Neeson.
Neeson beats people up.
And that just has an evening showing at
7:30.
7:30. And tomorrow, again, 10 a.m., 2 non-perishable food items. So we'll get you in to see Uncharted or Despicable Me.
Despicable Me, yeah.
There you go, 10 a.m. So
Every movie this week is PG-13.
There we go, yeah.
No R's.
No R's, no. And, again, Despicable Me, a great children's movie. So if you want to take the kids to see that, again, just the 2 non-perishable food items.
Help out the needy and pacing.
There it is, a great cause. All right, well, that'll do it for this morning on the air. We'll get back to the music here with some Greg Kinn, Verve Pipe, Eric Clapton, and more. But first, an update from the National Weather Service.
How about Off Kilter? Near enough Off Kilter.
Did you click on that sawmilltheaters.net?
Yeah, it's not. The site's down. Yeah, something right here. So, but I think, everything that comes up, it's sawmilltheaters.com. When you click from, it doesn't have it here, but on my phone it has, website. So when you do Sawmill Theaters and right here website, nothing, it doesn't work, that's down.
That's not good.
And then it has this right here, and then now showing coming soon. And if you do that, nothing there either. And on the phone you don't get anything, but on the computer you get this right here. So it looks like, and the net, there's nothing there either. So
Wonderful.
looks like, unfortunately, my friend, that is down.
Pull your pants up.
Great.
Huh. No, there we go. Yeah, so that is not good. So there we go. But Sawmill whistle, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the Sawmill whistle. I have it saved, and at noon and 5, put it on the radio. That would be fun. And hopefully they are able to get that fixed and back up there. And yeah.
And can you, just for that 3 seconds, can you crank it up to 50,000 watts? From 17 or whatever you've got ordinarily.
Nope. But
Not allowed.
But what's cool is I mean, technically, it isn't, you know.
Are we live? Are we doing the?
Yeah, well, I need to get. That's just you and I. Knowing everyone's abandoning us. But,
He's gotta go put water on the fire.
yeah, you know, obviously on the theater, it's great because, you know, everyone throughout town, I mean, that, you can hear that literally almost all the way on the other side of town in some places.
Cool.
Yeah, which is, it's very faint, but I've heard people comment, or, you know, you're somewhere and right around noon, if you have to listen for it. It's nothing like being here, but it does travel quite well. And I know that is very cool, but to have it on the radio, you know, our signal obviously reaches a little bit further. It is low wattage, but it's also streaming and people could be listening anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're like, wow, I'm in Texas, I'm in New Jersey, I'm in Russia, wherever.
Illinois.
Clifford, yep, I want to hear the sawmill whistle at noon. You could hear the
There it
sawmill
goes.
whistle at 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if somebody was from the area and they grew up in Payson when the sawmill was here,
Nostalgia.
yeah, and they heard that whistle, then, you know, all right, if I want to be on around noon, a little before noon, have KRIM, and then hear the whistle. I think that's something cool, even if the whistle came back. That's kind of neat, you know, and have a little promo, maybe even just not have the whistle by itself, but then have a little, you know, Sawmill movie theaters, you know.
Just like the good old days.
Just like the good old days, yeah, something, yeah. So people are like, oh wow, what is a sawmill? And then, you know, if they look it up or whatever. Or,
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
he'll get Catwoman up on the roof here before too long, and we'll have it back.
I don't know if Catwoman can have a compressor on her back.
No, she's really strong.
She's really that
yeah.
strong?
Well, yeah, you should have seen her beat up those bad guys.
Well, but that's like, you know, I think of Black Widow. Black Widow, I mean, oh my gosh, she could kick almost anyone's rear end, but I don't think she could put a compressor on her back and get up there.
Yeah, use pulleys.
Use pulleys. She has some Ruski tricks up her sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, to do that. But
Black Widow's one of my favorite Marvel heroes. She might be my very favorite. I like her.
yeah,
She's spunky.
yeah. What did you think of the movie with that? What was it with her?
Black Widow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't care for it.
I know. I thought
I
it
thought
could
it was
have.
flat.
Yeah. Where I was, because of her character and how dynamic her character is, I was just expecting a lot more. But it was almost like, and I know it was the history and everything else, but
Yeah.
it was just flat.
Yep. I would just say this in defense of the movie industry, is that it's really hard to make a movie, and to make a good movie is almost impossible. I mean, if you think of, in the course of a year, you know, out of the 3,000 movies that are made in the United States, feature length, you know, hour and a half movies, how many of them that you remember, you know, 3 years later? Not very many.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's true, and I guess how good the Marvel movies are. The bar has been set high
Yeah.
by the Marvel movies. So any new one that comes out, I mean, it's being compared to
Sure.
Thor and to, you know, Spider-Man, or to, you know, all these, or the Avengers, and you're like, oh, so here we go, it has to be, you know, we want it to be as good as those, and how can every movie be that good?
Yeah, and having a wonderful writing, I think, is really important.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a theory that your average actor, just the run of the stage actor, is capable of acting achievements far in excess of anything that they're asked to do. as a general rule. And when you do see a movie where you have an actor that is kind of unleashed and let their full talents show, it's a big deal. And it makes a difference. And the writing, because usually you have Liam Neeson goes and punches a guy in the head, and that's all you ask him to do.
Yeah.
But he's an excellent actor and capable of doing much better than that. But that's all that they ask him to do lately. And similar, if you think of the famous actors, well, this thing with J-Lo and Marry Me. She's asked to be pretty and fall in love in an unusual way. Well, that's not really very hard for her. I mean, it would be hard for me, or for somebody who's not a trained actor. But she can do that. But she can do more than that. And I think most actors, they can. But what the things that make a movie memorable are usually one or two things in the movie that are just so cool you can hardly stand it. You mentioned Thor. Chris Helmsworth he's a great big guy, and he's just incredibly handsome and has a wonderful screen presence too. I mean, the camera adores him, and to see him on the screen is really an experience just in and of itself. And at the beginning of Thor, he falls from the sky and it goes clunk on the ground, and Natalie Pullman and another actress find him, and the other actress looks at him and she just kind of is overcome.
Yeah.
And she says, I could give him mouth to mouth, totally. And I just thought that was so great, and the way the actress said that, it made the movie for me.
The Thor movies are.
And there's a line in another one. I can't remember the name of it, where he's in the arena with the Hulk.
Oh yeah.
And I said, "Oh, sure, he's a friend of mine. He's a friend of mine from work."
Yeah.
Because they're both Avengers.
Yeah. Oh hey. Yeah. Just his reaction when he sees him.
Yeah.
Is classic.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
That's just a great line.
Yeah, there were some really good ones in there, and some of the other characters as well and their lines that they had in that movie. That rock creature that he was with.
Yeah.
It was so funny, so funny. So yeah, it's the writing, all of that. It is. They've done a great job in those movies.
And Chris Helmsworth, in spite of him being, kind of goes through these movies where he just kind of wanders around and is good looking, and that's about all he has to do. He was in the recent Ghostbusters movie where they had all the Ghostbusters were contemporary to our time today, female comedians, and he played their stupid secretary.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It could barely answer the phone, and he was very funny. He pulled it off very well, and gave these comedian women a foil to play around in the movie. And there was some very funny stuff here that he did, that he was capable of, that ordinarily in a movie he doesn't have to do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, it looks like Craig.
Did he fix it?
He was heroic. He ran out of here, and it looks like it is back up.
Yay!
The website. So there you go.
Hooray for Craig.
Yeah, whether it was him or it just
was
came
him.
back on its own, but probably him.
Yep.
To where he and look at that, now showing, that's coming back up. So there we go. So you can get on the website and check out all the times, what's playing, and
next week's Cyrano, that'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Kate Hudson plays Roxanne.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kate Hudson is just a great movie star, and she might be a good actress too. So I don't know. I've never really paid any attention to that. I'm just overwhelmed by how pretty and how what a great screen presence she has.
And Haley Bennett is the main actress. It looks like Haley Bennett. Peter Dinklage, Haley Bennett, and Kelvin Harrison Jr. In the movie. Yeah. Looks good. And then here's the one, The Lost City. I think they'll do very well together, Sandra Bullock and Channing
I think
Tatum.
so too. I was impressed by Channing Tatum's work in Dog. I thought he really did well, and I didn't expect him to do. Because he's another guy, an actor that I don't expect much of, because ordinarily his directors and producers don't expect much from him.
Yes.
But he's got more to him than he's ordinarily shows. And in Dog, he was able to show some of that, so that was good.
Kind of like The Rock, maybe, where The Rock has a little bit more. Maybe Tatum has more, but
No, I don't think
No?
that. I don't think he has more. I think what you see is what you get.
There you go. Or let me think of someone else. Jack Black.
Jack Black has made a couple of really good movies. School of Rock.
School of Rock was so good.
It was really good. But he was in a King Kong movie.
King Kong, yeah.
And completely miscast.
Yeah.
I thought, he was supposed to be a man of action.
No. And this, when I look at The Lost City, it reminds me of, and I know it's different, but just this picture reminded me of Jewel of the Nile.
Okay.
Remember Jewel of the Nile?
Yeah.
That was an explorer. He was an explorer, and kind of the woman that, I don't know how they connected or whatever, where it doesn't look like either of these two are explorers, but it looks like it would probably be entertaining.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be really fun. Jewel of the Nile was an epic fail. We spent a lot of money on it, but didn't really click with the audiences.
And then Morbius, coming April 1st. Morbius, biochemist Michael Morbius. Vampirism.
Oh boy,
That's a word?
Sure.
Vampirism.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. You remember back in the era of the flappers, back in the Roaring '20s, they had a word for called vamp, and you've heard women referred to as a vamp.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, that is short for vampire.
Ah.
A woman who is so compelling, so sexually alluring that men are helpless before her. That's where that word comes from.
And clinical vampirism, more commonly known as Renfeld syndrome. Or
Renfeld syndrome.
Renfeld syndrome.
We don't get to talk about Renfeld syndrome nearly enough.
Is an obsession with drinking blood.
God, is a real thing?
Yeah, the earliest formal presentation of clinical vampirism to appear in the psychiatric literature, with the psychoanalytic interpretation of two cases, was contributed by Richard L. Vandenberg. Wow.
Maybe he bit a guy named Renfield.
As the authors point out, in 2010, over 50,000 people addicted to drinking blood have appeared in the psychiatric literature at least since 1892.
Holy smokes, I had no idea.
Documented, in the work of Austrian forensic psychiatrist Richard von Kraft-Ebing. Wow, so it's a real thing.
Well, that's a name of sounds like a real psychiatrist.
Yeah, wow, but oh my gosh, so over 50,000 people, which worldwide, I mean, golly, that's
a lot of
drop in the
people.
bucket.
Yeah.
Well, but they're addicted to drinking blood.
I could see how that would cause a significant dislocation in a person's life if you became addicted to blood drinking.
Yeah, I mean, going out, getting drinks after work.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll have a Bloody Mary.
I saw what you did there.
Give me the Bloody Mary. Wait, it's not bloody enough.
Yikes.
That's so when you see
But
that.
vampire movies have been very popular, from, back in the silent days.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the early famous ones, Nostradamus. If you see it today, it's still very, very creepy and scary.
Mm-hmm.
But even up till the present day, you've got the Twilight films, you've got the twinkly vampire in the Twilight films is Batman.
It's Batman now.
Yeah.
And the Vampire Diaries.
Never saw that one.
No. What is the one? I was thinking of the other one. Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, something.
Oh yeah, autobiography of a vampire.
Yeah, that's
Close to that.
And I keep
Interview with a Vampire.
Interview with a Vampire.
Yeah.
Yes, that was
very, very disturbing.
The Vampire Chronicles. That's what it was. Yeah, Interview with the Vampire Chronicles.
There's
wow.
There's one that I think is one of the best vampire movies done. Let Me In. And it's about kids, and the vampire is like a 10-year-old girl, and her neighbor boy is a similar age, finds out about her being a vampire, and she never ages because she's dead, I guess, and he spends the next 70 years as her, because he's in love with her, spends the next 70 years helping her to successfully navigate modern life as a 10-year-old vampire who's really too small to kill people and drink their blood. So he helps her. Very unusual movie.
Wow. Yeah, Interview with a Vampire. It's I forgot how creepy, and here's one review. What is it? Violent?
Yeah, it is violent.
And
icky.
Yeah, that's where
icky stuff.
This is a violent, bloody movie about vampires. Death and murder are the main themes and are depicted with a great deal of graphic violence and gore in nearly every scene.
Yeah, and with everything about it is impeccably done. Great acting from the two that you mentioned.
Yeah.
And the direction, the sets, the writing, everything about the production is really top of the line movie making.
And that was Kirsten Dunst, who was the girl in Claudia.
The little girl.
Anne Rice was in that. Christian Slater, Antonio Banderas. Yeah. And then there was a sequel, and here is since the release, only one sequel was made, Queen of the Damned, in 2002, which featured none of the original cast and ended up performing abysmally at the box office.
Yeah, and that was, I think, over the top into the disgusto-meter
Oh, wow.
went over into the red zone on that one. Yeah.
No. If they went even further than the Interview with the Vampire did, that would be crazy.
Yep, no, they didn't. I think that's probably, they went too far. And people wouldn't take it.
No. Well, there we go. Head out to Sawmill Theatre tomorrow, 10 a.m. 2 non-perishable food items.